everybody. Welcome to GameChange 1.0 podcast 2. Today, we're going to talk about how blockchain technology is disrupting the financial services and especially the decentralized finance. We have Haseeb Awan today with us. Haseeb is the CEO of Ifani based in the US. It's a security and privacy company. Haseeb has been involved with the blockchain technology and the landscapes for over 8 years now. And he's the best person to talk to when it comes to how the technology evolved and what are the trends in 2020 and beyond. So Haseeb, please, how are you? Carry on from here.
Okay. Thank you, RJ, for having me on the show. Thanks for the kind introduction. And yes, obviously, within the last 8 years, I've seen blockchain moving from technology to move money, from like doing multiple things. I've pretty much seen everything from like people building Uber on blockchain and building changing the world, revolutionizing the world is basically a cliche that's being overused in this specific. Like you add AI, basically what has been happening is you add a couple of terms and then you add blockchain on top, and that's how you do it. So I don't think so you need blockchain for everything, first of all. Absolutely, I'm a fan of technology. That's why I'm involved in the space for like 8 years. And obviously, it's not just a technological movement; it's also a political movement of how things have evolved across the world. Like how we have been scammed by the governments on printing money, and people deprived of their financial situation, like inflation and everything. Because our current situation in the world is like evolving day by day. Especially the time we are in right now, like we have riots happening across US, and we have also have bails out happening, and stimulus checks. We are talking about UBI, which is universal basic income. So blockchain does provide an alternative solution to a lot of problems that we have. I don't know if this is the ideal solution, but there's certainly something that we can test off. And basically the only thing is, can we keep the decentralization, and can we keep the system of finance and everything clean and transparent? Because right now no one knows how many US dollars are out there in the market. Like if someone asks you about Pakistan, what's the currency, how much currency is in situation right now, actually no one probably would have a clear idea. People will give you ballpark figures, but no one will know where it is right now and how much money has been put. So money could be transparent, similar to email could be transparent. So it's all about like how can we use this technology to make it, rather than going into the way of like making hey, what is blockchain, which you have heard at least 1,000 times. I'll just make it simple. Is it a way that we can trust our citizen with financial money? Is it possible that government should not intervene in money part? And because I'm libertarian, obviously, and I personally believe that government should not have a business in a lot of things. They should have business like multiple things, but at the same time, they're not, because governments are not efficient. Like pick up any department and you'll see that private sector is able to do a job much better. And has been recently the government says, okay, first of all, if you go with the money transmission, it was like people to people, then governments got established, and then we say, okay, let's have a gold standard. And then, there were IOUs, and ultimately everything was abolished because once they took over the gold, and now governments can print as much money as possible. So DeFi is pretty much about how can we use technology to build a stack of financial stack to change people's life. It's experiment, it's happening, it's been successful. Like if you look at blockchain has been up for like 99.99 something for the last, like since inception, hasn't went down, and it's still running. Like, if you look at it, like, Bitcoin have a value which is higher than a lot of countries in the world. And this is like a kind of a miracle, that how can you have a currency which is backed by no one, but still accepted by more people, or have a market cap of, you may call it that maybe a scam. You may call it that it may be all fictitious, but this is a reality, right? And so let's talk about how did it get here and what can we build further. So I'm very, very bullish on DeFi on overall.
Sure. So your topic today is DeFi, which is decentralized finance. So how do you see that happening, the shift from the regular financial models to the decentralized finance? How do you see that happen?
So first of all, it will not happen in like one go. It will not be like a binary where we all move from like, okay, today it's all centralized, tomorrow it's all decentralized. Like that will not happen. It will be evolution over time where company will start moving from one part to another. But I'll give you a simple example. We had, like in the past, we had you have to go to like a bank and you have to open a branch and everything. But now you can do a lot of stuff. So some of stuff has happened decentralized. Like, it's not like exactly what we wanted as decentralized, but this is a start, right? Rather than going to one branch, you can basically go to pretty much any branch. Then, so now, if the problem with the crypto space, which I personally believe is, and again, this is my personal thought, and I'm very, very less educated in the space, and I don't represent anyone, right? This is my personal opinion that a lot of people in crypto are mostly for like people who are actually the builder. They live in a utopia that, hey, everything has to be perfect, right? Like, it's either 0 or 1. But the life doesn't operate like, it's not, you don't have a choice between life and death. You have actually can have a miserable life, you can have a good life, right? And that all matters. So I think decentralization can happen on a scale, and we can start taking out pieces of systems. So I'll give you a very simple example. In the past, if you want to have an auto loan, you have to go to a bank, right? Or you have to go to financial institution or get a credit card. But now there are a lot of challenger banks that you can go and basically you can take products in, like, one by one. You want to transfer money, you can basically go to one. So this is a kind of where you broke a single financial institution into multiple things, because bank job should be only to store money, right? But now, because of the ease, convenience, and the brand name they established, you go to them. So Bitcoin was one thing that started as an experiment, which is purely an experiment, and people start trusting in a system that, hey, I can trust computers with my money, which is a lot of trust. Like, you basically give money to someone on a system that has absolutely no legs. Like, the creator is unknown. It's just purely based on code. So that experiment has been successful, where people were able to trust and build a system which is bigger than GDPs of a lot of countries. So first experiment and be successful. Now the thing is, can we actually use that as a transfer of value? Can we build applications on top which are based on code? So I'll give you a simple example. Like, imagine you have a YouTube channel, right? And YouTube channel, you can't go to a bank and like say, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I'm being viewed by like this many people. Can you just give me a loan? The bank will probably, unless you are like a big shot, bank will probably just refuse the loan because they don't know how to underwrite the risk. So in this case, someone can come in and say, okay, Haseeb, I know that you have 10,000 subscribers, you're not making a lot of money, but I understand if there's a 10,000 subscriber and a lot of them are from US and you play this many videos, based on that, I can make my own algorithm and I can issue a loan. In that case, I become an underwriter and someone can issue a loan and do this thing. So these things are happening right now. We had CryptoKitty experiment where people were buying and trading CryptoKitty, which had no actually value, and then it goes into all discussion of non-fungible and fungible assets that I want to complicate our audiences. But ultimately, I think personally, in the next 5 to 10 years, right, we will have applications which absolutely require no code. Right now, you can actually go online and give your Ethereum or a cryptocurrency and issue a loan without involving a third party, which is amazing. Like, if you think about it, like, you are basically generating a magical currency, putting it a collateral. Someone is giving you a loan from anywhere in the world, and you don't even know who the borrower, who the lender is, just based on Ethereum. So we have got into that, and that stack is growing. And I personally believe that the problem with the financial industry has been, it's very, very difficult to break in. Like today, if I want to start a bank, it's almost impossible for me to start a bank, right? But can we build like an AWS for banking, where you can have like a basic layer where all the financial systems are available, and then people can mix and match application? Good luck, like, building a good API. Like, I've been like doing taxes, and I recently realized that my banks do not have statement more than 2 years. Like with blockchain, you can pretty much go up to like 10 years and find out any transaction and find out where it went. But in bank, like, like how much money would it cost them to store money? But they don't care because it doesn't matter to them.